I'm Charlie Atkinson, president and founder of the Whole Brain Foundation. On Wednesday, August 24th, 2016, leaving my house at 6 Clement Circle in Cambridge on my way to get a therapeutic massage from Nolan Watts, who has been helping me for the last 20 years, but particularly the last 4, to recover from West Nile virus that I got right here at this house in 2012. The purpose of this peripatetic chat is to introduce myself and my company to the Harvard Graduate School of Education Career Services Intern fair on August 30th, 2016 at the Gutman Library. I'm planning to come to that and make a present and have a booth and talk to 400 potential interns about the opportunity and the interests and passions and missionary goals and strategic vision, organizational structure, and implementation plan that we have at the company. But first, a little bit more about me. I'm a Harvard graduate class of 1958. Came to Harvard, studied English and economics. All about the humanities. I wrote on the crew. This is a crew shirt that I wrote at my 50th reunion. Back in 2008. After Harvard, it was back before the Vietnam War, and I was an ROTC student. So I went off to Fort Sill, Oklahoma as a second lieutenant and stayed there, became an artillery gunnery instructor, really teaching the kind of calculus that I didn't dare take as an undergraduate to students from all the Ivy Leagues and all over the country. They said I was teaching them to be the greatest killer on the battlefield. And Neil Rudenstein, a former future president of Harvard, was one of my students. But I got interested in technology, and particularly in applying what I'd learned from a class with B.F. Skinner on Natural Sciences 114 on the science and human behavior. He'd invented a teaching machine, and I thought I could do a better job. And while I was at the artillery school, I invented the M1 teaching machine to teach artillery gunnery. Maybe that's why we lost the Vietnam War, but I taught a lot of Vietnamese officers too. After Harvard and after the artillery school, I came back and became a research assistant to B.F. Skinner, who was interested in showing how operant conditioning and behavior of the body could be applied, could be used for creativity. And it was that focus on using technology for humanity to understand creativity that has become a lifelong theme. It's now many years later, and I have had a long and interesting life, punctuated, fortunately, with many opportunities to dare greatly, to fail astoundingly, and succeed occasionally. But right now, my focus has been on how to take my interest in neurosciences from a psychology and education point of view and create a new understanding of the mind. I've been focusing on the science of the structure, function, and connections and networks of the behavior of the whole brain, mind, and body. And I've come up with a way to visualize and represent this in 3 dimensions. I call it Charlie's Cube. It's a conceptual framework that makes it's sort of the mental equivalent of the digital iPhone with its A9 chip brain and its operating system mind and its apps, a behavior of the body. And so I've set up the a program now, and I'm ready to do 7 major initiatives. The first is the research. We need to document this with abstracts and reports. And I'm thinking with some grandiosity about maybe I could do for what Jim Watson did with the 3D presentation in the double helix back in 1953 that led to the sequencing of the human genome, or what Einstein had done in 1916 that led by 1946, just 40 years later, to the atomic bomb, and what John F. Kennedy did with Wernher von Braun to use technology, put a man on the moon and bring him back. Well, now in the age of technology, the digital age that succeeded the industrial age back in, say, 1950, we're now in a conceptual age. And the challenge we have is to really understand our minds. What are our frames of mind? Howard Gardner. What is our, how do reinforcement work with Skinner and stimuli with Pavlov. The research on the actual biological science has led to a new map of the brain in July. Since 1909, there's a new parcellation of the brain into different hemispheres with 180 locations in each side, and this is providing double the knowledge we had of those very specific locations. So my first job is to do the research and get someone to help do that paper. The second job is with the Whole Brain Foundation. The strategic plan is number 2, and to help me prepare that strategic plan that can be shown to the whole world about what we plan to do. The third, and by the way, we've gotten 501c3 status now. We did that early August. The third step is to do the fundraising, and we are Salesforce.com partners, and we have TechSoup partners with Microsoft Office. We use Evite and paperless post. Last December, we gave a party for 160 people for my 80th birthday, and we're planning to do another event on December 11th. So I need a fundraising, event planning, technology person to take charge of all the fundraising to raise $100,000 bucks. this year, in anticipation of 1 million next year and 10 million the year after that, and who knows. The fourth thing is I need someone to prepare a book proposal on the history of this invention and my life, and particularly the last 5 years from 2011 to the end of this year, 2016, to document this story, which we'll call for the moment Charlie's Conceptual Cube, or Charlie's Cube. And the book is a key part of documenting this story. The fifth part of this is the website. The website has moved from a TypePad 2012 website to the current, but not operational really, thewholebrainfoundation.org. We need someone to work on the design, development, and operation of a daily blog that will share our story and our progress as it unfolds with the world. The fifth step, so that's the fifth step. The sixth step is the product itself, and that will be to further design with graphically the 3 dimensions of the mind that we envision. It's like a 5 by 5 by 5 Rubik's Cube with a matrix. There are many visualizations of this, including showing it as a whole village, where the x-axis is creativity, the z-axis is knowledge and technology, and the y-axis is humanity. In addition to that cube, we also need design a 5-day, 5-hour, 5-part curriculum that can tell the whole story and share it with the world. We've lined up several companies like Cengage, a $1.7 billion company, to distribute it to every high school in America. And we also are working with Boston University on a platform to create the technology version of the conceptual framework for this 3-dimensional view of the mind. The seventh step is the project proposals and grant writing to go after those major opportunities to solve seemingly unsolvable problems in every dimension: personal, social, organizational, political, civilizational, and at every layer, from the most general to library down to catalog, curriculum, competency, concept, and to take it through the stages of the creative process, from the interest to the goals, to the strategy, to the structure, and the implementation plan. So please come by the booth, and we are ready to go. We need your help, and we're going to be kind of a Xerox Park East. I sold my first company to Xerox back in 1966, and it's now 50 years later, and it's time to create a Xerox Park East. I call it at 6 Clement Circle. We've got a lot of interest and a lot of successes. I personally have recovered from near-death experiences 4 years ago when I couldn't even walk and was paralyzed and given up for dead. And we've used the same approach with my daughter-in-law, who's had brain aneurysm and stroke and is now out riding a motor scooter. And another man with end-stage renal disease. We see applying this everywhere with the MacArthur Foundation Prize, the Lorraine Powell Jobs Fix American Schools, the X Prize with Singularity University. So come see us.